Good evening, Anne Arundel County. Good evening, America. Welcome to Promoting Community, Conversation, and Discovery. I'm your host, Anthony Bynum. The name of our production company is the Glen Burnie Players. This has been fantastic weather we've had in Anne Arundel County recently. Just absolutely fantastic. And I think we're going to get some more fantastic weather for the weekend. I mean, no rain. It's been a little cooler. Just some very comfortable weather. Very comfortable weather. Well, we have a great show for tonight. Let's start off with some announcements rather. This Saturday from 2 to 4 at Cromwell. I believe this might be at the Cromwell Fairgrounds. I'm not 100% sure, but there's a Soca Wine Music Festival. So it's from 2 to 4. It didn't say anything about cost, maybe a free event. You might want to check that one out. Next week, I believe it's on Wednesday. This caught my attention. I thought this was interesting. It's called Classical Happy Hour. It's from 5 to 9 on 49th West Street. There's a coffee house over there, coffee house and wine bar. Two ladies, I saw them. They played. I saw the instruments. One plays the flute. I think the other plays violin. That sounds like a nice way to unwind after a heavy day of work, right? So we also want to thank our affiliates, people who air community conversation and discovery. So that's AAC TV right here in Glen Burnie, Greenbelt Cable Access in PG County. In fact, I heard from their program director just today, they're going to run the birth of We Do. So I'm pretty excited about that. Amherst Media in Amherst, Massachusetts, thank you for airing our shows. Brunswick TV3 in Brunswick, Maine, thank you for airing our shows. And of course, Manhattan Neighborhood Network in the Big Apple, thank you for airing our shows. We also want to thank our references. That's Wikipedia, Google Images. This week, we borrowed something from the Poem Farm, a poem that was written by an Amy Ludwig van der Water. Now, she's written other things for us before. She's very witty. I think you're going to enjoy the poem we selected. And of course, we want to thank our sponsor slash underwriter, The Cleaning Chef. More information available about them and their services and the credits. So, most admired. This is someone whose name I'd heard over and over and over. I decided to dive in, find out more about this lady. She goes by the name of Anne Rand, or she went by the name of Anne Rand, but that was actually a pen name. Her name was actually Alice O'Connor, and interestingly, that's the translation of her name because she was born in Russia, February 2nd, 1905. So it would have been a Russian name, and that's the equivalent of her name. Um, Russian, and I believe is a Cyrillic language, so don't ask me, right? But Anne Rand was born February 2nd, 1905. This is before the Communist Revolution. Matter of fact, they were still controlled by the royal family, the Tsar and the royal family. Uh, she died 3/6/1982, so she lived a long life. She got out. Well, I guess it was after the revolution. Matter of fact, I think I read where she had to be careful about how the family traveled to get out. And matter of fact, that's the story there. But she became a great American writer and philosopher. She developed a concept, and we're going to talk about it, called objectivism. We're going to talk about it because in some quarters it's seen as being a little bit on the controversial side. Um, as I noted, she moved to the U.S. in 1926. Early on, she had a uh, a meeting with Cecil B. DeMille, and he may have helped her in some ways get established. I don't know, but he was a pretty big force as far as in the movie business, as far as being a director. So early on, well, let me cover this before we talk about the states. In 1925, she must have made the decision that she wanted to leave Russia. She had written an essay about a Polish actress, Pola Negri, and maybe something happened there that influenced her decision to leave. We don't know. But she comes to the States, she immigrates, she gets married fairly early, and she wants to be a writer. And she actually wrote two unsuccessful novels. But the fact that she wrote them means that they got out there, right? somebody was helping her, you know. She actually had 2 Broadway plays that she wrote. So she's making things happen. Maybe not huge, but she's making things happen. Uh, Her first real success, though, was a novel she wrote called Fountainhead. This was in 1943 during the war years. So, yes, she's been around a while. She knows people. She's working on her trade. She's getting better and better. In 1957, after the war, she writes a book I'd never heard of, but I'm probably going to have to buy. It's called Atlas Shrugged. The book is about man's mind in existence. It deals with issues such as reason, individualism, property rights. Um, she actually rejects some things that I do not reject, such things as faith and religion. She supports rational and ethical thought. Uh, she supports laissez-faire capitalism. She advocates, and this is all comes through this objectivism, that the business community is very, very important in lives. In fact, I saw something just recently. One of John Stossel's reports. He has quite a fan base, quite a yeah fan base. That's the best word, I guess. Viewership, I guess. And they talked a lot. He was talking with a businessman. He talked a lot about Anne Arundel and the things he stood for, and how business is good for society, how it helps us to grow and to live better lives. Um, anyway, that's what she was about. That book, Atlas Shrugged, has sold 37 million copies worldwide. 37 million. Apparently, is a cornerstone in the business world. I'm gonna have to buy it because I'd never even heard of it. So we all get a chance to learn something new. That's how that goes. Other than the Bible, it's the second best-selling book of all time. Now, in later years, she promoted her theory of objectivism and the philosophy surrounding it through speeches and writings, and she continued on. She lived a long life. She died in 1982, so fairly long life. But a lot of people know in the business world know who this lady is. That's for sure. Okay, so something of consequence regarding Anne Arundel County. This is something that none of us think about until we have to think about it. What do we do with our remains after this body, our host, is no longer operational, right? So I'm gonna go to the share. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to share. Well, I'll do this right now. That's Anne Rand right there. I was supposed to do it earlier. I'm sorry that I didn't. That's the lady we're talking about. Very attractive, yes, me. Uh, so what we're gonna do though, we're gonna move on to Holy Cross Cemetery, right there, in Brooklyn Park. And I'm just gonna go to their website. It's right here. Maybe we could close down a little bit about these guys and things that they do. A little better picture right there. So they're located at 6020 Ritchie Highway. They were established in 1891 and they're managed by the Holy Cross Church, South Baltimore. They have 47 acres. See some of the different things here. I think that's called the mausoleum over there. Usually these grounds are always very, very well maintained because when people go to visit their loved ones in their final resting place, their body's final resting place, they want a sense of peace. They want a sense of calmness, nothing crazy, just calmness, reflection, you know. That's important that we reflect on our lives. That's what we have is our lives. So anyway, we're gonna stop the share at this point. And I'm gonna blow this up also. All right, folks. So Just one last thing I wanted to cover. I was thinking, because we talked a little bit about business and how business can be good. I wanted to find something about money that's relative. And I found this poem. And again, it's written by Amy Ludwig van der Water. It's called Pass the Money. This is very clever, well written. Hand to hand, we pass the money. Hand to hand, we never know. Who earned this dollar long before? Who held it last? Where will it go? Did my future best friend fold it? Did it touch the president? Loaned and borrowed back and forth, cash is hoarded, given and spent. Money travels soul to soul, world to world without a word. How I wish this bill could tell me secrets it has seen and heard. Stolen from a pocketbook, tucked inside a birthday note, lost for years behind a mattress or beneath a mattress, found one day in someone's coat. Hand to hand, we pass the money. Nothing in the world is free. Goodbye, dollar. Off you go. And if you wish, return to me. I thought that was very clever. I enjoyed that. Hello, everybody. Again, we have some exciting things coming your way. Uh, we're trying to close the deal on some productions. I think I may have announced our new YouTube channel, which is going to be devoted to animation because we're in that world now with the Adventures of Outback coming online, and we do already there, and writing the script for a new one called Soup Man. We want to try to do things with animation and have some fun creating new things. Not everyone just getting a chance to buy and look at things that were done 40 and 50 years ago. New things, new characters, new ideas, new ways to laugh, new ways to explore our world. Those are some of the goals we have here at the Glen Burnie Players. So for everyone here at the same Glen Burnie Players, my name is Anthony. Until next time, bye bye.